Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome back into the course. In this lecture, I'm going to introduce you to ChatGPT. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first thing is first, there's a lot of other LLMs. We call them large language models. ChatGPT is not the only one, but it is the best. And by far, it is better than any other LLM. No matter what they say in blogs, I can honestly tell you. And first and foremost, you might be thinking, who are you to tell us that maybe you don't trust my credentials? That's completely okay. And I think I have to mention my credentials. So I've basically been online for the past 6+ years, doing digital marketing for all that time. And I've been around the block and did a lot of things online. And I can honestly tell you that I've used ChatGPT for about 1.5 years now, ever since it came out. And I can tell you that there is no comparison between it and others. Gemini, which previously was Google Bard, by the way, and they just changed the name, thinking that maybe they're going to get some traction or they're going to get viral, but it didn't happen. So nobody really cared about Gemini. Claude AI is good. Copilot is good. Perplexity is good. All of them are good, but they don't come close to ChatGPT. All encompassing, of course. Now, there are tools that are better than others. For example, Gemini is better in code or with coding. Claude as well. But in comparison with the overall features, ChatGPT is the best. All right. So here are just some success stories just to inspire you about this tool. Is that, for instance, the book that you're looking at right here, it's called The ChatGPT Millionaire. I'm not promoting it by any means whatsoever. But here's the thing. This book was written by Neil Dagger, or the person here in this particular in that demonstration. And the reason why I'm bringing this book is because inside of the book, the person that wrote the book has actually mentioned that he used ChatGPT to write the book. So in there you can see tools I used to write this book aside from ChatGPT, Jasper AI, of course, which is let's just say it's not as great. It had a lot of hype because it came before ChatGPT, so it was pretty early, but it's in nowhere compared to ChatGPT. Now, this is just some success story because this book has 3,000+ reviews, which tells me that this person has probably generated around $100,000 from this book. And yeah, that's because only 3% leave any reviews if they do, and the book sells for $12.99 as a paperback, and you make most of that. So you can do the math. Now here, that's just for inspiration. So what is the definition of ChatGPT? It is an advanced AI chatbot that understands and generates human-like text based on the input it receives, making it useful for conversations, answering questions, and creating content. So it's basically a human mind on steroids. That's what I'm going to say. So you just type whatever it is you want to type. Now you can talk to it on the phone. We're going to view that. And here's another definition. ChatGPT is an AI language model, LLM, designed to understand and generate human-like text based on the input it receives, enabling it to engage in conversations, answer questions, and provide information across a wide range of topics. By the way, when they keep saying, or when I keep saying based on the input, I mean that because it's incredibly important that you pay careful attention to the input that you put to ChatGPT because it's going to answer according to that input. So if your input is great, it's going to give you a great response. It's going to give you what you want. So you have to be more detailed in your prompt in order to get the best results. Now, the company behind ChatGPT is called OpenAI. They didn't only create ChatGPT, so they created DALL-E 2 before, which is an image generation model. And they created ChatGPT as we know it today. They also created DALL-E 3, which is a advanced model compared to DALL-E 2. And the best thing is that they have taken DALL-E 3 and integrated it with ChatGPT. So it used to be that we couldn't generate images with ChatGPT, but now that they introduced DALL-E 3 inside of ChatGPT, you can generate images inside of ChatGPT. So how awesome is that? Now, soon enough, OpenAI is going to introduce Sora, which is capable of creating as much as 1 minute of video footage of anything you want based on a text prompt. Now, there are multiple versions of ChatGPT. There is GPT-4 Plus, which is the paid plan. There is GPT 3.5, which is free. You can use it for free. And there is GPT-4o. GPT-4o is the advanced version compared to GPT-4. And the good news is that it is for free because ChatGPT or OpenAI made it free for everybody to use with one limit, of course, which is the ability to not generate images. So you'll not be able to generate images with it, but you'll be able to do pretty much everything else that it can do. It's generating images is only reserved to pro users. Also, when I say you can use GPT-4o, and it is more advanced than GPT-4 Plus, you can use it, but you can use it only for a limited amount of time. So it's not like you can use it all day long. You'll be allowed to use it, but you'll not be allowed to use it all the time. So here, there's good news. This is an email I received, I think, about 4 days ago from OpenAI. And they said, we're reaching out because you've built a GPT and shared it in the GPT Store. We recently announced that all ChatGPT free users would soon be able to use GPTs. So what this tells is that you can use the GPT Store even as a free ChatGPT user. What that means is that you can use the applications created by creatives like myself in the GPT Store. And I'm not going to talk about the GPT Store. That's not the course for that. But I just want to give you an example. Let's say you want to create a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation. You don't have so much time. You only have 2 minutes. You want to create a 10-slide presentation for a job, not an interview, let's say for a presentation at work about any topic. Now, with these GPTs, things that they can do is miraculous things. You can be able to create an entire PowerPoint presentation in just 1 minute with a prompt. When I say an entire PowerPoint presentation, I mean an entire PowerPoint presentation. Everything, right? Including the images on the slides, including the text, including the background, everything from scratch with just one prompt and a click of a button. And of course, there are GPTs that are capable of creating images, logos, that are capable of creating YouTube thumbnails, YouTube banners, capable of writing anything you want, capable of creating incredible Facebook ad content. Anything you desire is already out there. And you can go and check these GPTs out in the GPT Store. Now, the limitations and capabilities are important to understand. So GPT 3.5 is the free GPT plan. You can use it for free, but it can only process text input. And you're limited. So if you go over 1 hour of usage, most likely you're going to be asked to wait for another amount of minutes or hours before you can use it again. If you want to upgrade, there's the Pro membership. It costs $20, but it gives you access to everything. And also it gives you access to unlimited use of GPT 3.5, which means you can use GPT 3.5 24/7 with no stoppage. It gives you access to GPT-4, which can generate images. It's much more advanced than GPT 3.5, but still, even though you get access to it, but it's limited. You cannot use it for 24/7 like you could use GPT 3.5 under the Pro membership, right? And this model is capable of generating images, and it's capable of a lot of other things. Not only is it capable of generating images, it's also capable of processing images. So if you have some images, you can upload them to GPT-4, and you can ask ChatGPT to provide you with the description of that image. It could be that, let's say you're stuck in some place in a city and you don't know your way out. You can actually take a picture of where you are, send it to GPT-4, and then you can ask it, where exactly am I? I want to get to this location. Can you actually show me the itinerary in Google Maps of how I can get there? And it can go ahead and do that for you. It can also process Excel spreadsheets, PDFs, Word docs, and so on and so forth. And it has vision. What vision means is it's, let's just say, an image. You take an image. As human beings, when we look at that image, we don't necessarily see everything in that image. As a matter of fact, you'll be surprised that we only see about 5% of what is in the image, even though we like to think that it's otherwise. We like to think that we see the full picture, but we don't. Because we don't have the vision that these AI large language models have. Vision means it sees everything, which means if you give it an image, the minutiae, the slightest details are not going to be missed by that tool. So chances are there is a sign that you haven't seen in that particular image, for example. The LLM ChatGPT is going to notice that and it's going to tell you, well, did you pay attention to that sign 50 meters above? So it really is amazing. Vision is amazing. Plus the ability to synthesize large amounts of data. You can provide it with files such as Excel, PDF, spreadsheets, Word documents, a book of 500 pages, doesn't matter, and it can summarize all of that in 10 words if you want it to do so. Remember, your prompt is everything. So if you say summarize this book in 10 words, it is going to do so. If you say summarize this book in 10 bullets, it is going to do so as well. So it depends on what you want. Now, the GPT-4 capabilities extend beyond what we have seen. GPT-4 can browse the web with Bing. The reason why I'm saying this is because when ChatGPT came out, there was only one version. It was GPT 3.5, and there was not even a pro plan. It was free for everyone to use. Plus, it was not capable of browsing the web. It was static, means it was programmed up to a specific amount of data. And it didn't know pretty much anything else more than the data it was provided. When it first came out, it was basically programmed, I think, at around data of 2021, maybe January, February, or March. That was the limit of its knowledge. Then, when they came up with GPT-4, they made a contract with Bing to actually browse the web with Bing, which means that ChatGPT now knows everything, including what happened right now, this very moment. So it became, or GPT-4 is a dynamic model. It knows pretty much everything. It's not limited by a specific amount of data because it can go ahead and learn from data from all over the world and the search engines. With the help of DALL-E 3, the image generator, or the model that can generate images, like I said, the precursor of that is DALL-E 2, ChatGPT is capable of generating images, right? And it's only capable of that under the Pro membership. And of course, advanced data analysis is also something you get access to. If you want to know what advanced data analysis is, it's the ability of doing something like this, such as generating charts like these. All of these were generated using the GPT-4 version because it has access to advanced data analyses. And these are all charts that would take a data scientist to create. ChatGPT can do them without breaking a sweat. Now, GPT-4o capabilities, which is good news, you can use it for free. You can use it, but you cannot generate images with it, but you can use pretty much every other feature. Now, it is faster than GPT-4, better than GPT-4 Plus. That's surprising because I paid $20 for that. But you cannot generate images with it for free. That's the only downside. And you get access to it for free, but you cannot generate images with it for free. It is capable of everything that GPT-4 is capable of and more, right? So it is more advanced and faster. I had to mention that GPT-4, not 4o, 4 is the slowest version. It is greater than GPT 3.5, but it is the slowest. Now, the Plus plan will cost $20 per month. I personally have the Plus plan. And by the way, it's a shame because the team plan was $25 for 3 people. Now it's $25 per person. So you can see that they're getting more expensive. Now, you can customize your ChatGPT version by adding information about yourself. We will see that later. But here I'm just warming you up. You can customize it. So for example, if you want to come across as a movie director, go ahead, provide as many details as you need about a specific movie director, put them there, and put how would like ChatGPT to respond, and it will take that particular persona in all the chats. Then there's also the ChatGPT settings, which we're going to view. So right now, and without further ado, let's go ahead and practice all of this. So here we are in the ChatGPT interface. Whenever you are at ChatGPT, you'll notice that this is how it looks like. If you want to toggle between the GPT versions, you can just click here and toggle back and forth in between versions. You can get started by clicking on any one of these starter prompts. You can click and it will start reacting immediately to your prompt by generating a response. Now I'm setting this to GPT-4o, so it will give me a response in GPT-4o, the newest and most advanced model. And you can see the response here. And I just have to wait. You can pause it at any time by clicking pause if you want it to pause. And here you can upload documents by clicking on this. You can upload documents from your computer. Like I said, you can also connect to Google Drive, connect to Microsoft OneDrive, and so on and so forth. If you would like ChatGPT to spell the response, read it aloud, you can click here.
Sure, I'd be happy to help. Here are some tips and recommendations for colors and outfit options that look great on camera. Colors. 1. Solid colors.
You can stop it. You can also copy everything in bulk by copying like this, or you can just go ahead and target something and copy it individually. You can also regenerate, in which case, if you don't like this response, you can click regenerate and it will generate another response for you. You can dislike a response if you didn't like it, and you can click right here to change the model. Automatically, if you switch the models, for example, if I click on GPT-4 right here, it's going to regenerate another response. This time, it's going to generate it using GPT-4, not GPT-4o, even though here I'm still setting it to GPT-4o. So that overrides the GPT-4o model. Now I'm going to click here to pause. When you pause a response, you can see that after you generate a second variation, and you see over here how many regenerations. So 2, right? Because we have generated the first response, then generated the second. So we generated this twice with the same prompt. And if you liked it, you can say, I like it. And you can also always change the model. Here, you notice that your chat will always take a name based on your first prompt. Photo shoot outfit tips. It's because we have said, I have a photo shoot tomorrow, right? Would you like to give me some colors and outfit options, da, da, da. And so it went ahead and named this according to this. But you can actually click here and rename this anytime you want, anything you want. So for example, if you want to rename this as, I don't know, maybe photo shoot, let's just say, and you can add the date 6/3/2024, for example. And if you want to start a new chat, you can just click here on start a new chat, in which case it's going to start a new chat. And here you can click on your name right here. Normally you'll find it either here or here. And you can see your plan. You can see your GPTs if you have created any. I have created 40 at this moment. You can customize ChatGPT by adding data about any persona you want it to take. And for example, let's say you wanted to take the persona of Quentin Tarantino. You can say that, and you can come over here. And the more data you add, the better it is, because they provided you with 1,500 500 characters to add. And you can say, I'd like it to respond as a Hollywood director. And if I click save, notice right now it's going to be the norm. So if I say hi, it's going to take the persona of Quentin Tarantino. Hello, Hamza, how I can assist you? Well, I'm going to say generate a movie script about westerns. Let me pause for a second. See, when you pause, it stops, and you can also edit your prompt. So if you made a mistake or you want to add something, you can edit your prompt. So I'm going to add an S and a dot, and I'm going to hit send again, in which case it's going to go back again and start regenerating a response. And you can see here in the style of Quentin Tarantino, it's going to go ahead and generate a movie script for us. And the title of this movie is Dust and Honor. Now, let's actually pause this for a second. Let me show you something interesting. I'm going to say generate a promotional design for the movie. How about you generate a, actually, let me pause. I'm going to say promotional poster. I'm going to edit promotional poster for the movie. Notice that right now is going to go ahead and generate a promotional poster for our movie that we have just had an idea to create. So you see it's using DALL-E 3, which is, like I said, the model that is capable of generating images. And I only have access to it because I have the Pro membership. Now you see that this is the poster, Dust and Honor. I don't know about you, but I think this is awesome, right? So Dust and Honor, you can see it here, you can see it there, you can see the movie poster. If you didn't like this, you can say, for example, the poster must be landscape size and must be black and white. For example, let's say you don't want any colors whatsoever. You want it to be black and white, but you also want it to be landscape size, meaning you want it to take a frame rather wider than the height, right? That's usually the size of a computer screen or a TV screen. And here it is. Again, Dust and Honor, black and white right now. And you can see that it's really amazing. In the heart of the Wild West, the past never stays buried. Now, it's not perfect when it comes to writing. But remember that if you have access to DALL-E 3, you can edit. So for example, you can click on this selector, you can select a specific area, and you can go back there and you can say erase the text, and you can hit send, in which case it's going to go ahead and proceed. You can always click on ChatGPT or reload the ChatGPT on the browser so that you can see it like this. Now, when it comes to the settings, you can click on the settings from here. And if you'd like the theme to be light, you can change it to light. You can change it to dark or system. System is light as well. I'm going to keep it dark. If you want to show code, anytime you're using data analyst, you can click here to show the code. I would like you to leave language to auto detect, because just in case you're talking to it in Chinese, it's immediately going to know that you're talking in Chinese. So just keep it as auto detect. Archive chats, or for example, let's say that you have a chat. You have worked so hard on the chat. You've added a lot of data and variables, and you don't want to lose the chat. And because ChatGPT, they basically will erase all your chats that are more than 30 days. So if there is chats that are more than 30 days in the history, they're going to be erased immediately. If you don't want them to be erased immediately, you can click on a specific chat and you can go click archive, in which case the chat is going to be archived and no longer here, but you can go back to settings. And the moment you go, you can go and click on manage archive chats. And guess what? Here is your chat. You just have to click on it and it will show you your chat. This way you can keep chats that you deem necessary for day-to-day tasks, such as applying for job offer. For example, I used to apply a lot for job offers on Upwork. So I had a chat specifically to apply for job offers because I just programmed it a lot with a lot of prompts. So it was a shame if I lost it. So I had to make sure I have it somewhere. So for those types of things, you can keep your chats archived for you to find them anytime you want. And you can unarchive it anytime by just clicking this simple button, and you'll notice it'll come back right here, right? Alien Discovery Expedition, for example. Now, if I click back here and I go back to the settings, now there's personalization. You can basically deactivate memory. Memory can be quite bothersome, especially when moving from chat to chat, because it remembers every past conversation, and sometimes it can give you responses that you may find weird. So sometimes if you want, you can actually switch the memory off. You can also switch the custom instructions off. For the speech, you can select any voice from these. The voice is the one that is going to talk to you on the phone, as well as the one that's going to spell your answers for you. You can go to data controls here and you can manage your shared links, export your data, such as your chats. If you want to delete your account, you can delete it. The build a profile is important, is necessary if you want to start creating GPTs. You need to come over here, at least add your name, at least. You can add a link to your website. You can add a link to your LinkedIn, GitHub, and X, because that can help you get a lot of traffic. What do I mean by that? Very simple. If I were to actually go to Google, because I have to do this right now because I don't see the GPT store there. That's a glitch that happens. So if it happens for you as well, go to Google, search for ChatGPT, be redirected again, because we need to see a button here that says Explore GPTs. There it is. Now I've created a lot of GPTs: Startup Logo Fusion, Artist, Ad Wolf, Fit Guide Coach, Decision Navigator. All of these are GPTs of mine that I have personally created. And if you want to create a GPT, it's very simple. Click on Explore GPTs. And there's this button. You can click it to create a GPT. But most importantly, I'm not going to be showing you how to create a GPT right now. I'm just going to be showing you the GPTs themselves. So if I were to scroll down, you see a lot of GPTs. Every one of them is capable of a specific thing. For example, this one is capable of drawing diagrams. This one is Canva, so it's capable of helping you design for your Instagram posts and Facebook posts, Facebook ads, design logos. These ones are capable of writing for you. This one is capable of writing ads. This one is awesome, for example. It's capable of generating presentations. Let me show you an example. If I click on this particular GPT, you see how many conversations have been had with this GPT, as well as its ranking, reviews, and the website of the website owner. You see this person, they have made a great investment by creating a GPT because that gets them 300,000 plus conversations. You can imagine how much traffic that is and how much it would take if they wanted to drive that traffic to their website for free or with ads. So it's really free advertisement, to be honest. Now, if I use this GPT, I can say, well, make a presentation about the future of AI. And guess what? It's going to make a presentation for me, right? Now, not just this, it's going to make a presentation that I can actually download. So it's going to start by making slide number 1. I'm going to say allow. And it's going to give me the link to download slide number 1, right? So this is the link here, right? This is image, Okay, let's actually just wait a second. So you can see I'm going to say, okay, give me slide number 1, or give me the link to download slide 1. And right now it's going to get working, starting the action. Normally it should give me the link to download a professionally done slide. There it is. Not just that, it's also creating slide number 2. It's going to provide me with the link to it. But now let me just show you an example. If I were to click on view or download, it's going to take me here, and I will be able to download that particular slides in any format I want. Obviously, the format that people like is the PowerPoint format because it enables you to play the presentation on your computer. And guess what? You see that mouse over there. It is working for us right now. And here is our slide. There it is. And I can click download as PowerPoint or Google Slides or PDF. And guess what? Here's my PowerPoint. I can click. There it is. The image is from Unsplash, so it's copyright free. And yeah, it's amazing, right? It can generate presentations for you. Know that it's incredibly customizable. You can customize it. And here it is. Slide GPT. I can activate the modifications. Right. Sorry for that noise. And here, if I want to modify anything, I can modify it. So for example, if I want to modify this, I can actually go ahead here, double click, edit. I can move this image around. I can go back and forth. And you can see that this is incredible, isn't it? So this is pretty much it for this particular lecture. This was a fair introduction to ChatGPT. Right now, let's go ahead and let me show you the phone app version. It's just amazing. The phone app version, which enables us to talk to ChatGPT, which is exactly what we're going to go ahead and do right now. Passive Income Gen Z wishing you the best and signing out.